I am getting really excited for the next school year. I am like itching to buy curriculum for the next school year. We've had a few wins when it comes to curriculum, so I kind of have made up my mind for some, and I know that we still have a whole semester left, but I don't know, I'm just getting really excited. So to scratch that itch, today I am going to be printing out a planner for the boys and putting it together, and I thought that it'd be cool to just share with you guys how I bind all of our books. So today I'm going to share with you what I use, how I use it, how all of the house. I'm going to be using our kids minion theme weekly planner. So I've already printed it out, and I did print it out B5 size. For the cover, I use this thicker cardstock. Now, this was my last one actually. It is a 130-pound cover, heavy, thick cardstock in white. I have a very basic printer. This is a printer I had before we started homeschooling. I got it maybe 8 years ago, but it's been getting the job done. This one, it was 15 pages in here. For some of the workbooks, I use just, the cover that it comes with, but then I did print out this one in that cardstock. For the back cover, I do have this black chipboard. So I have the pages already in the order that I want them, and I am ready to cut because I did print them out in B5. I did add an extra step to my process. I could just print out, just a regular letter size, but I did think it was a little too big. This last one that we used, it was a little too big, and the A5 was a little too small, and they couldn't really get, David couldn't really get his handwriting in there. So I went with the B5. I'm going to be cutting them using this here. Again, this stuff, it's stuff that I already had before I started making these things for the boys, before we were homeschooling, before I even had children. So this one I got from Joann's. It's a pretty small one. I do want to get a bigger one just to make it easier, because I can't cut like the letter size. I can't cut them vertically unless I cut a big chunk off the bottom, which for this size I did need to do that, so I did that. I can't fit it in here to use like the measurements on the ruler on the cutting board, so I am using a previous page that I've already cut to help me guide where to cut. Also, it has a border, so it was helpful. Okay, so now I have it all cut up. If you were to laminate the cover or any of the pages inside, now would be the time to do it. I would usually laminate this page after having David decorate the cover, but because I want to bind it now and this is going to be for next school year, I'm not going to be laminating this one. So it's just gonna stay like this, and then for the new year he'll go ahead and decorate it once it's already binded. Now we're going to be binding. The machine that I use is the Cinch machine by We Are Memory Keepers. Yes, Memory Keepers. This one is for scrapbooking, which is what I had it for when I first purchased it. I used to bind my planners using the binding discs, like from the Happy Planner. This one is a circle hole, but they do have like the squared hole if you prefer that, because it looks fancier. And I am going to be using the double wire spirals. I have two different sizes here. This one here, if you can see it, I don't remember how many pages. I will list that information here. I will link it so you know how many pages it can bind like comfortably. I've used these for more than the capacity, like the sheet capacity, and it's really hard to like turn the page. So yeah, I have this size, and then I have the 1 inch of this one. So it's the 1 inch once it's like cinched, once it's put together. So I'm going to be binding them. Well, first I'm going to hole punch them, and then I am going to show you how I put them in there. And because I did print them out a different size, I am going to be needing to cut the end of the wire. So I'm using these little wire cutters that I used to use for jewelry making. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and hole punch that, and I'm gonna show you some of the features from this little machine. Do I recommend it for bookbinding? Probably not, because it's a lot of adjusting, a little bit time consuming, but it works for me, and if it works for you, then go ahead. So first you unlock this little lever here. That is what's going to hole punch your paper. So each one of these little pegs is a hole. Now, because my page does not fit there, like the whole thing is not going to get hole punched at once, I am going to have to pull it out and slide this thing out and slide my page over. And then there is a little hook there, not a hook, this little thing that you put down, fits perfectly in the hole to hold it in place. And then I am going to pull out the last number 7 here. I'm going to pull it out because that hole was too close to the edge of the paper, and it will hole punch like a little half moon on my edge of the paper. So I'm going to make sure that all the other ones are in, so they will hole punch, and that number 7 is going to stay up because it's not going to hole punch it. And I just push it back, and I can pull my page out, and that's what that looks like. Then on the side of the machine, there are these little hooks where you are going to put your spiral and just add your pages there as you hole punch them. I'm just going to measure this one out so I can cut the excess wire there, and then I'm just going to continue hole punching. Now make sure that when you are hole punching, you are doing it on the same direction, starting they're all facing the same way. And you don't want the holes ending up on the other side of your page, so keep an eye out for that, and then just start stacking them up in there. Now I did add the black chipboard first and then the cover. I went back and did that because I want the little wire end to be inside my notebook, not on the outside. It just makes it look a little messy, so I went back and did that. Now on the top of the machine, there's this little knob here, and it adjusts your presser cincher thing. So first I put it for the 1-inch wire because I thought I was going to use a 1-inch, and then I ended up adjusting it again because I went with a smaller one. So you see how that thing goes down? It's just gonna press your wires together and close them up. So that lever goes down just like it went down for hole punching, but now you're using the back side. So be careful not to press down with your fingers in there because you will squish them. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and adjust them and make them all neat. Make sure they're closed tight. And then I just go ahead and flip the cover back around so I can see the front cover, and then the back cover is going to be obviously in the back, but doing it that way, like putting them together, hides that wire thing in there. So this is the final product. I ended up going with the smaller spiral. So we got a planner down. Now I got to find something else to keep myself busy before I go curriculum shopping for next school year already. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this helpful. I'll see you guys in the next one.